Just seeing how much more needs to be done was what made me say to myself, like, I want to be that change I want to see. We need better, okay? I'm not scared to use my voice. I'm not scared to speak up, and I'm willing to make that change. Hi guys, my name is Aisha and I am a Black Muslim woman in architecture. And I believe that my dreams and my identities are valid too, regardless of who I am. I was most recently elected as the Vice President Welfare at my university, and I was the first ever Black woman to be elected in its 438 years history. And this is my story. I carry a lot of caps and I have a pretty complex identity than what people would sort of normally expect or be used to. I am Black, I'm Nigerian, I am a Muslim, and I am also a woman who happens to be studying architecture, which is one of those fields where it lacks representation. I can only think of one revolutionary woman architect that isn't white. Her name is Zaha Hadid, and I was obsessed with her when I was growing up. I wish there were more people who I could relate with who were also doing architecture. So it wouldn't come as a surprise that when I came to Edinburgh University, which is quite an elite institution to go to, when I came here and I looked around me on the first day of architecture school, and I was the only one. I was the only Black Muslim woman. When I came to Edinburgh, I wasn't just Aisha. I was coming from Nigeria where everywhere, like if I turned right, there's someone else like me. If I turned left, I was never Black. I was just maybe Yoruba or, Hausa. I was identified based off of the language I spoke or the tribe that I spoke or the religion that I belonged to. But it was never about race. It was never about, my identity necessarily. So when I came to Edinburgh, which isn't the most diverse place, I wouldn't necessarily say that I have experienced overt discrimination, but I've definitely been a victim to microaggression. There was certainly that sense of I am that weird flatmate, and my flatmates would never understand me. And I always felt like I was different and I was made to feel like I was different. A classic example is when it comes to cooking. In my culture, the food we cook has a lovely aroma and it circulates around the entire place, okay? And our style of cooking, the kind of recipes we use is different. So there'll be times that I'll be cooking in the kitchen and I would get that sense of like, they're like, what is that weird thing that you're eating? Or sometimes I would have to go to my room and eat because I feel ashamed to actually like use my hand to eat because that's how we eat. I felt like I got this sort of vibe that people thought I was weird because of my culture, which I have no control over. So coming here, I quickly realized that I was no longer Aisha. I was now Aisha, the Black Muslim woman who was coming from Nigeria, of all places. That took me a while to get used to, especially because there wasn't no Black tutor, there wasn't a Muslim tutor in my architecture school. The curriculum was completely different. The people in my classrooms couldn't really relate with where I was coming from. Even though I was excited to learn about their culture, there wasn't much interest in my culture. Because obviously they've got this stereotype about people who are from my side of the world. We live in huts and our architecture is off. I mean, that sort of explains why they didn't really teach us much about African architecture, which was such a shame. I was kind of expecting this, I wasn't surprised when I found that people were ignorant about African culture. I wasn't surprised when people had no clue where Nigeria lies on the map. But at the same time, it was an empowering experience because I felt like, although I am the first, I'm able to inspire other people like me. I'm very much an advocate for the fact that, hashtag your dreams and your identities are valid. Being an outlier in the sense that you couldn't fit into any box. It's hard to find a box that clearly defines you because you're constantly navigating these different worlds that it's kind of hard for you to find your place. Can I actually achieve the dreams that I have and the goals and the aspirations that I have with the identity that makes me? I've come to realize you can, imagine I got elected. I did some very crazy things when it came to campaigning. My social media page obviously helped because I think people saw my face everywhere. There was a campaign video I made, like just singing, and being like, vote for me. Hey, my name is Aisha and I'm running to be your VP welfare this year. You want change, I want to make it because we need to be heard.
Feel unsafe, I want to stop hate. Feel stressed out, make counseling better. On a tight budget, more funding options. Yeah. I got you. This year, we will be heard. I need you this March to come and vote for me.
I make it to sound like it was all fun and I was so sure I was gonna get it, but it was scary because there was the day that we had our question time, the candidate hostings where they would ask us questions, all the candidates running would be there. And I think after that call, I cried. I literally cried because I was like, I'm so scared. Like everyone else is white and that fits into what these people are used to. I'm the only Black person, the only Muslim person. I'm scared. And I cried that day. I legit cried. And yeah, the rest is history. If there's anything I've learned from this experience and from my time, studying outside of my home country, it's the fact that my difference is my strength. Regardless of the fact that society wants to make you feel marginalized, regardless of the fact that systemic racism still exists, regardless of the fact that there's Islamophobia, racism, transphobia, Semitism, and fascism, and all of these things that shouldn't be the case, shouldn't stop you from existing in your own space, shouldn't stop you from embracing your identity, shouldn't stop you from feeling confident and fabulous in your own skin, because that's who you are. So just be yourself and stand out from the crowd and stamp your feet and say, this is me. I'm not apologizing for who I am. I am unapologetically me.